Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
And she saw me cooking eggs. She thought I was whack at it.
Hey, Bachi.
Yeah, man. VOCHLOMBARDI. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. I appreciate anybody that's working at Bleach Report Corporate that's watching right now and have no clue what that opening line meant. It's okay. Some of y'all won't, some of y'all will. If you in the comments or in the chat box, you know where that line come from. Good for you. Let me know so I can give you a little tap on the shoulder and say here. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Download the Bleach Report app for everybody that's watching, and that's assuming that you're watching on your phone and like somebody else is like over your shoulder watching right now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, tell them to take their phone and download the Bleach Report app, and then you should go to the Cowboys tab and follow it, and the NFL tab and NFL Draft tab and follow those, because I'll be popping up and showing y'all every now and then. Okay, but you could just follow me here at VOCHLOMBARDI. I would have to assume that you all get notifications if you do that, but I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Central. Now, hey man, we just talking, man. What y'all up to, man? We just talking about stuff, man. Me and my guy Brian brought. I was on the Cowboys draft show, something like that. You know what I'm saying, type stuff. And we were just talking about quarterbacks. We trying to make sense of the draft, and that just lets you know where we at as a franchise, right? Like, we put everything into the draft that we often forget that free agency is still kind of going on. All these other teams are having fun with their free agent coverage, and if one of our Bleach Report Illuminati members hit us, I'm like, hey man, Voch hadn't gone live and talked about any big free agent acquisitions for his Cowboys, and the answer would be we simply don't. That's not in the Cowboy content manual. Illuminati Bleach Report member, you would have to understand, for the upside that you get for the Cowboys always having a continuous news cycle in the regular season, you got to understand, off season, when we not talking about draft, gets a little dry. Bleach Report has to understand. Bleach Report has to understand, but I do know that in the words of Jim Ross, business is about to pick up real soon for the Dallas Cowboys, because we got draft coming up. Let me just go to Tankathon and see what their counter says. Tankathon. Let me just see what the Tankathon counter says. And I'll even pull it up for y'all to see, man, because we ain't doing nothing else. I appreciate y'all. There you go. Tankathon say we are 29 days away from the NFL draft. So, of course, business is going to pick up, going into the draft. Rumors and stuff. The actual draft is going to be fun. You guys are going to get a lot of coverage and reactions and videos and things like that out of me. And then, of course, after we make all these picks, of course, we're going to break down every single player, from my, I would say, my alleged draft expertise. I don't even want to sound like fancy violin guy or whatever, but, draft is how I get down. So I'll be here breaking all those down. But the next part of that, right? Even after undrafted free agency, those guys, right? Then the Cowboys go super bottom of the bin shopping. All right. They go super bottom of the bin shopping. And I do think that that's a very effective way to team build. You just have to also pair that with trading and general free agency to get a name or two to try to help your team. What do I mean by bottom of the barrel free agency, works out for you sometimes, right? Well, if you look at the production that you got from Eric Kendricks last year, Kendricks played much higher than a player that was making $1 million or so, $2 million, $3 million, something like that, playing for cheap. The production that we got from him was way more than what we paid for. The same with, guys like Carl Lawson, you know what I'm saying? Don't even allow me to pick another, like Chuma Adoga or something. You know what I mean? When Tyler Smith was giving us problems, man, Chuma Adoga stepped in and did the damn thing. You know what I mean? So we do have to respect the bottom of the barrel shopping. in real life, we just want that to pair well with some big names here or there, right? Because Carl Lawson was fantastic. Well, he was cool for his price last year. I would say that he's cool for his price. But how much better would Carl Lawson be if you paired Carl Lawson with like a Derrick Brown trade last year, like a big splash like that? You know what I'm saying? It would have been great. It would have been great, but y'all know how I go. So this is what I want to do for y'all today, all right? We ain't doing nothing else. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me and kicking it. I want to look at the remaining free agents. I want to try not to throw up when I see them or cry or make fun of them or say that these people aren't good. I want to respect everyone. I want to do a better job being respectful. You know what I'm saying? Without doing those things, let's try to give a decent breakdown of the remaining free agents there that can help the Dallas Cowboys. All right. That was my setup. Let's run it. We can break this thing down by like positions, something like that. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta start with quarterback, bro. We'll go right into running back. Let's see. These are the available guys. All right. So Jamal Williams, he was ex-Saint, ex-Detroit Lion. He's available, but if I'm looking for a running back right this second, I want to look for a running back that's on par with Javonte Williams to better. I want a running back that's flat out better than Miles Sanders because I don't think Miles Sanders made the team at this point. I would love to have a running back that's flat out better than Deuce Vaughn. And honestly, keeping the buck with you, I would love to have a running back that I trust for real, regardless of a running back that we draft. And look, man, I just want y'all to be ready, man. There's a real possibility that the Cowboys may not draft running back in those first 3 rounds. The Cowboys may not draft running back in those first 3 rounds. So I just need y'all to be super prepared, okay? All right. So Jamal Williams, Gus Edwards, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson better than Miles Sanders right now, so we can talk. But you know, they'll be acquired in the same fashion. But Jeff is better. There's a lot of my Cowboy content colleagues that want to take a chance on Nick Chubb. Hey man, knock yourself out. I don't hate it per se, but I think that bread is baked. Ladies and gentlemen. You know, he's past the age of elite running backs. Plus, he's had his knee injury, so I don't think we can go there. Travion Williams, when he was coming out of Texas A&M, Cowboy fans were a big fan of him, so we could talk about it. But I think running back is looking like an empty market right now, man. If we didn't get him when the getting was good, it's time to draft. You understand? Now, wide receiver is super important. I might just keep this at, position groups that we really need for real. Like, I don't have to check up on defensive ends here. I think we're done with defensive end stuff, right? But wide receiver is going to be super important moving forward, right? Now, we know Stephen Jones. If Stephen Jones, like this website, right? Spotrac, it shows you all the undrafted free agent characters, right? If Stephen Jones was on spotrac.shop.com and he can acquire players here, Stephen Jones will scroll way down to the bottom where the ads are, where they're trying to get you to buy a couch and a refrigerator. And he would try to find the cheapest players we can find, the bottom 3. He'll look at Anthony Schwartz. I remember Anthony Schwartz coming out of Auburn. He run fast. DJ Turner, Grant DeBose, these guys that's going to cost, $38.26. Stephen Jones wants to acquire about these characters because that's how he get down, right? Cowboy fans want to be up here. You know what I'm saying? We want to be in this top 3. Nah, you ain't time to learn it. Like Keenan Allen is he's a legitimate conversation that Cowboy fans we can have about Keenan Allen. And I think he'll fit Dallas perfectly because he's a route running guy. And even when his athleticism falls off or whatnot, because he's a declining football player. That's why he's not in demand right now. He's a long time away from those Phillip River days, right? Caleb Williams isn't necessarily the quarterback that'll fit Keenan Allen all that well. I think Dak Prescott fits Keenan Allen perfectly. And Amari Cooper for that matter, right? These 2 old route runners, these 2 old characters that's going to win with like savvy. And let me tell you why that's important. If they come in, we're not worried about them trying to be wide receiver 1 out here. We got CeeDee Lamb for that. CeeDee Lamb can get the majority of the looks. I just need you to beat cornerback 2 in one-on-one coverage or to find an open zone in the defense. And I know that you're smart enough to find an open zone in the defense because y'all are two veteran old man receivers. I think Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper they will be a fine addition to this team. And we learned that Amari Cooper, his situation was like Mike McCarthy just didn't really fool with him. You know what I mean? Like, like Dak is fine with him. CeeDee Lamb, I'm sure that they're still cool. And all they got to do is look, if you Dak and you making money like this now, shouldn't you have like some Peyton Manning type clout? You know what I'm saying? Or you could just knock on somebody's door and be like, hey man, we need to get Amari Cooper up in here. Well, like what needs to happen? I think Dak got that kind of clout now. He's making ridiculous money. He's an older cat, been here for, however long Dak been a Dallas Cowboy, what, 10, 11, 12 years, something like that. Like he has the ability to say, hey man, what's up with Keenan Allen? What's up with Amari Cooper? And the one thing I don't want is I don't want a team right before the draft to go, all right, y'all, we're going to bolster our wide receiver core prior to going into the draft, like the Cowboys should be doing. And they snatch Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen from you. And the wide receivers at the top of the docket are Deontay Johnson. He can't play, and Ravens fans will tell you that. Steelers fans will tell you about moving on from him too. Tyler Lockett, he just got cut. Robert Woods, old man, ain't heard from you in years. The sixth player down is Josh Reynolds. That's where we at. Nelson Aguilar, I be damn. DJ Chark, I know, has a fan club in Dallas, but I know what time it is. Tyler Boyd would have been cool 4 years ago. Elijah Moore, who's 25 years old, we could talk about it. But I feel like his last few stops just weren't that great. Brandon Powell, who? Chris Conley still in the league. Steven Sims, who? Jameson Crowder still in the league. Deontay Hardy, I know Hardy, but yeah. Like these are wide receivers that played in Baltimore that couldn't get playtime. You feel me? James Prochet, man, come on, man. Give me somebody that's better than Jalen Tolbert. I haven't named a couple names that's better than Jalen Tolbert so far. The market is dry for wide receivers. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, it would behoove you. It would behoove you to inquire about this old man. I would even say as a last resort, it would behoove you to inquire about those three old men. And I'm only saying that in context of I understand that CeeDee Lamb is wide receiver one, and I know that likely I would hope that they're going to draft somebody, and Jalen Tolbert and Mingo are still going to get a healthy amount, and Turpin's going to allegedly get involved in the offense like they always say, and we'll be good to go with the old man to be like a bridge wide receiver to who I would hope is Ted McMillan. I would hope. Man, but y'all know how it go, man. We ain't finna sign none of these people, dog. We ain't finna sign none of these people, bro. Come on, man. See, the Cowboys got ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys signed Jonathan Mingo in free agency. They just gave up a 4th round pick to do it early. So they're ahead of the game, bro. We behind, dog. We behind, bro. But it's whatever. Offensive line, let's see what offensive lineman up there. Anybody noteworthy? Brandon Scherf, who's older than Zach Martin, I think. Maybe a year younger or something. I don't know, but he's out there. Tyron Smith, who's younger than Zach Martin for sure, by like a month or something like that. Tyron's around. Shaq Mason is there. Joe Noteboom is there. Jedrick Wills. I wonder what happened to Jedrick Wills. Like, what the hell happened to him? Like he was a dude coming out of college, man. I'm just curious what happened to him. Will Hernandez is a name that's been linked to Dallas amongst the circles. Nothing official. Nothing that we can necessarily tweet about, but I've had conversation with a lot of people in the building. And look, it sounds different me saying that. Now, let me just pause this and put me back on camera because, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all, I was at people be hating. I remember once upon a time when I was a wee lad, when I was a young YouTuber, And I used to hear rumors, from my sources. I had sources back then, but people like, Voch, you a YouTuber. You ain't got no damn sources. They used to talk to me like that, right? Now I got Mo. We co-workers now. Hey man, hey listen, dog. We done came a long way, but boy, we blessed, man. You know what I'm talking about? Just chill, man. Y'all ain't gotta. Hey, just listen when I talk, man. I ain't claiming to be a beat writer or nobody that's important. I'm just saying, man, I bump shoulders with these people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be my DLLS friends, my draft show friends, or anybody I bump into at DallasCowboys.com, I run into them at the headquarters or anything like that. Man, I got these people number, and I text them. I'm like, hey, what the business is? Well, my radio guys, man, I don't know nobody that work in the front office, but I got 4 people that got numbers from people. We can figure it out, chat. We can figure it out. And y'all know I love y'all to pieces, man. I tell you, look, here, be like, yo, Voch, listen, Voch, okay, Voch, don't tell anybody that we're interested in DJ Humphries, okay? And I'd be like, all right, cool, bet. And I'd be like, hey, dog, I think the Cowboys interested in DJ Humphries. Hey, man. I'm not gonna turn my back on YouTube and Bleach Report and Twitter and all that. I'm content guy. I don't work here. Let's get back to the work though. Let's get back into the work, y'all. My fault. What we got? We got offensive line. I'm not thinking about the offensive line, kids. It's over with. I think we done with edge. One tech could be a conversation, or defensive tackle in general could be a conversation. Let's just look at the guys. Dog, will you look at the hold on? Let's go to. Will you look at the money that was spent? How the hell Milton Williams making more money than Jonathan Allen, bro? What's going on, bro? How we get here, dog? Javon Kinlaw making 15. How Javon Kinlaw and Javon Hargrave making the same money, dog? Where was Dallas at, bro? What was happening out here, bro? Well, like, where was we at? Our phone wasn't working. All right, let's see who's available here. Raekwon, Austin, Linville, Jonathan Hank. Well, Hank has played for us, didn't he? Yeah, man, Hank played for Taven Bryant. I ain't know he been in the league for 7 years. I must be. Maurice Hurst. I ain't know. Benito. Daniel Ekuala. Who? Jordan Phillips. He don't like being here, so he. Hey man, defensive. Look, we gonna have to draft defensive tackle, chat. We gonna have to draft defensive tackle. I know we drafted Justin Rogers last year. He went to the Bengals practice squad, and we just stole him back from the Bengals practice squad. So he's around from last year. Maybe he's your veteran one tech after you sign a guy and bring him in this year. But damn, dog, like what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Ain't no defensive tackle. Yo, this is what happens when you shot bottom of the barrel. This is what happens when you shot bottom of the barrel, man. I think linebackers are cool because the linebacker that we got from Chicago, he's going to be filling in the Kendricks role, right? Kendricks was here because he knew Mike Zimmer's defense, right? So the linebacker that we got from the Bears, I don't even know his name. Y'all know. You don't know his name? Man, nobody knows his name. Yeah, he's here. He's here for because Eberflus. So now, chat. The edge mark is a little more interesting than I thought. I think we can go for another one, chat. I ain't lying to you, chat. I know we probably gonna draft the edge too, but we can cut Peyton Turner today and look at one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Von Miller, old man, and I know he ain't good like he used to, man. But like, what is hitting on, man? Matt Judon was a just fine Patriot not too long ago, but he went to the Falcons and he played terribly. Now he's got a market value of $4 million. Like what the business is with Matt Judon? What's going on? Preston Smith is an old man. Zadarius Smith is probably equally an old man. But what the business is with Zadarius? He's been moving around lately. What's going on? How did CJ Mosley end up in free agency? I don't know. We can have a conversation about it, but I think we're straight at linebacker. I think Louisville just hop in there and do something. But those edges at the top are interesting, and I think we should have a conversation about them at some point. But Eric Kendricks is on the market, but Kendricks wouldn't be valuable in the way that he was last year because he's not the whisperer of the defense. I think Kendricks will still be better than some of the other options that you have, but I mean, it'll be a linebacker controversy if Kendricks came up in here because you brought in Bears Boy to be the Eberflus whisperer. So I don't know. Yeah, that's all them boys, man. All right, and let's we traded for a corner, Kyer Elam, but I just want to see what the business is. And the first name up that mug is Jane Bradbury. All right, y'all, listen. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. I love y'all to pieces. I thank you guys for letting me come and talk to you and entertain you and all this kind of stuff, man. It's a cool thing to do, okay? But I want y'all to download the Bleach Report app, okay? I want you all to follow the Cowboys tab, NFL tab, and NFL Draft tab because I'll be popping up on each and every last one of those Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Central, okay? Y'all tap in with me at 6 p.m. Central, and we'll be doing this here until Bleach Report till the budget run out of something. I don't know. They don't bring me back. Y'all hold down for the Doski Walls and Peace, man. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube at the same name, Voch Lombardi. I'll catch y'all next time, man. Shalom.